So some of the biggest frustrations we were facing in our business is we were stalled out. We didn't quite know where to go, how to keep moving forward in the business. It just we had met our level and couldn't go any further without some help. So to be specific on the frustrations that we felt for our business, probably the number one of it, and I think it's with a lot of businesses, is the cash flow. We had some cash flow coming in. We just didn't know how to capitalize on that, how to make our money work for us instead of the other way around. And that was probably the number one thing there. And then building a team around us that we could trust in the team. We knew that, you know, they could trust in us and kind of take it to the next level from there. Okay, so the effect of not having the cash flow where we wanted it or needed it was we had these dreams of what we wanted a business to look like and what we wanted to do with the business, and we just couldn't act on those dreams because everything takes cash flow nowadays, and we didn't know how to work with the cash flow that we had to keep building that and not just keep pouring it back into the company for the same problems we had, you know, with you know, just kind of like sticking your finger in a dam and then another hole pops open. That's kind of what we felt like we were doing with our money and whatnot. And then the frustration of building a team is when you don't have the cash flow, of course, you can't pay anybody. And then when you do have the cash flow, finding the right people to bring in was really hard because we didn't know what to look for when we were going to bring people in. We knew we couldn't afford the top end people that knew what they were doing, but we also couldn't afford to not have some people come in and be a part of our culture as what we wanted to grow and what we wanted to do. We wanted people to be involved, not just for money, but for they want to do this also. So if we hadn't done the growth course and if we stayed on the trajectory where we were at, living on the ranch and whatnot, I truly believe my wife and I probably, number one, would have been divorced. That the way we were living there, the troubles we were having was driving a wedge in between us. I wouldn't be married to, you know, the best friend I have. And the other thing is I do believe in a couple of years, divorcing, and probably bankrupt. We would have gone through what little savings we had left, and definitely wouldn't have been in the happy place we're at now. We're doing what we love to do. We wouldn't have been there. It just I don't see where anything good would have stayed coming if we'd have kept the course we were on. The way Jason teaches it is, you know, he's really down to earth. He's just straightforward. He's blunt. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks, exactly, you know, what he is thinking. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's not the most politically correct, but it's direct. He speaks directly to you. You don't think he's speaking down to you. So that made me feel really good because I went into it very skeptical and didn't want somebody talking down to me. The other thing I liked was talking about the culture and how that you need to ask the questions on what can you do as the owner to help your employee succeed, and not only succeed, but do even better at their job, which I think is something most people don't take a look at. They just expect the employer to do it. So those two things, and then working on the financial side. I am very not financially talented when it came to that kind of stuff, looking at spreadsheets and things like that. And they give you the tools to be able to look at that and look at a 13-week cash flow and see how your business is actually doing, not just looking at a report that somebody gives you and says, oh, okay, we made some sales this month. They teach you to look at the things to see how your business is doing with your sales, with your employees, with everyone. And my wife and I sat down and really dug deep and said, what's in it for us? What do we really want? And when I say that, we kind of looked at it in two different ways. We looked at it in, what do we want from ourselves, from each other out of our marriage? And then what do we want to do with our lives outside our marriage? And I'm not saying that the growth course is a marriage counselor, but it does give you tools to work on that. So we did that. We sat down and decided really where we wanted to go for our future, what we were looking at doing. Before working with Anton Jae, it was, I don't even know if I can put it into words. It was scary. I never knew what was coming around the corner. It was kind of almost not quite living day to day, but it was definitely probably week to week, at the very most month to month. So, and for free time, it was non-existent. I was married to my ranch that we were on at the time. So I never, if I did go on a vacation, I always regretted it, because when I got home, it was just 10 times as much work. I didn't have the processes in place to be able to take any vacation time and not worry about what was happening in the business when I was gone. And so that was just, that was a very big wedge coming between me and my business and my wife and I. So, and then after working with Anton Jae, the cash flow, we were able to sit down, take a look at what we had coming in, and we're being taught on, kind of how to look into the future and the bills and predicting income and expenses. And then for the free time, we're being able to start putting the processes in place to be able to turn the reins over to someone else and say, okay, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. And a great example is right now doing this. I'm gone for 2 weeks from the Cottonwood Equine Center, and I feel confident being able to be gone because we have the processes in place that if something happens, boom, we're right back. We know how to deal with it. And before, we didn't have anything like that. We were on a ranch, and we were probably looking at being about $500,000 in debt in each year. So we were just consistently going into debt. There wasn't any the amount of cash flow coming in was very minimal compared to the amount of expenses going out. And after the growth course, and actually during the growth course, we realized that, okay, we want to fix this business, but the closer we looked, and from an outside perspective, someone being able to look in and to help us kind of take the personal out of it and look at it from a business standpoint, we realized that this was not going to work. The way the ranch was set up for us was not going to work. It was just so many different things that we weren't able to step back and look at until someone showed us that. So, we switched gears, and after Abby and I had the decision of what we really wanted to do with our future and our lives and for our kids, we decided we bought the Equine Center and shifted towards that business. And now, instead of having, $10,000 of debt at the very least each month, we've paid the bills, and we're still that much in debt because we had to borrow from other areas, to we have a business now that is slowly growing and sustaining itself. And we're looking at having, hopefully, this year, a $250,000 profit year, which, to some people is small, but when you go from the situation where we were at to where we were, on the verge of bankruptcy, on the verge of losing a family ranch and not being able to capitalize on any asset like that, to where we're at now is we have our asset. We don't have debt on it. We have the tools in place to keep going and moving forward in life. So the financial shift, the way it's impacted me personally for my life, I don't lay awake at night wondering, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay the bills? Am I going to be able to put food on the table for my wife and my kids? Is somebody going to be knocking at the door tomorrow saying, hey, I need paid now or I'm taking something? And, we're slowly getting back to where we can do the things outside of business that we love to do. Like I love to team rope. And now we're getting to the point where I can go team rope more and I can practice and I can get away from the business to go do what I love to do. And that was not happening before. I was driving myself into a greater depression. So for me, the financial not having to worry about that as much has just lifted my spirits and made me not such a grouchy person, I believe. Okay, so I almost didn't do the growth course because I'm a huge skeptic. I see too many people with these quick fix. I call them scams. They might not be scams, but to me, they seem like scams. There's always a quick fix for everything. You see it with weight loss all the time. And I'm a bigger guy. I mean, I'm overweight. So I look at those and go, those don't work. Until I decide I want to lose weight, till an alcoholic decides they want to quit drinking, it's not going to work. But you have these smooth talkers. And I was really worried that my wife was getting kind of scammed by a smooth talker. So I almost didn't do it because I was afraid it was going to be a scam. When everybody kind of really looks deep inside themselves and tries to find out what kind of an owner they are, to whether, they're an entrepreneur or whether they're an artist, and just listening to the different people go, now, wait a minute, I'm not that. And then they go, oh, wow. Yeah, really, I am that. Yeah, okay. I never thought of it that way. And it was just kind of funny because the group was such a dynamic, just totally different people. But we all meshed. We all were business owners wanting to make sure our businesses and our dreams stayed alive. And it was just the connection we all had. And then when everybody realized those kind of things, it was those big wow moments they kind of stick out for you. So the Anton Jae 12-week growth course, I think, is for somebody that is really to that point that they say, okay, I know something's broke. I need to fix it. I want to fix it. I don't have the tools and I don't have the know-how to do it. I'm tired of failing and I just really need help. It's for that person that is not going to try to BS their way through it. That person that just says, okay, I need the help. I want my business to work. I want to make my life a better way. And I don't think it's going to matter if you're a Fortune 500 company or a little tiny company like we were. If you're the type of person that says, okay, I do need the help, this growth course is for you. So if you're watching this and if you're on there and just haven't clicked the button yet to work with Anton Jae, I would say you're 95% there. If you click that button, your business is going to go the way you want it to. Your business won't be running you. You will be running your business. And if you sit back and think about that, if you're looking into this right now, then that's what's happening is your business is running you. And if you want that free time, if you want your business to grow and you want to be able to do what you want to do and you run your business, you need to click that button.